All right, y'all. Welcome. First episode with visuals of Uncle on the Couch podcast, man. I am glad to have y'all with me. I'm glad y'all joining. If you tuned in to all of the previous audio episodes, greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate, people who liked, shared, subscribed, told somebody, sent the text to somebody, even the folks who laughed at it. I appreciate all of it, man, because you still took the time to watch. So whether you watch 30 seconds, you watch the whole thing, it's much appreciated. But I think I got a good one for y'all. Of course, first episode of the Black History Month. It's February 1. We finally made it through January. It has been the longest of Januaries, man. January was it's already the Monday of months, but it seemed to be the longest Monday of ever. But we made it through Black History Month, our month. So salute to us. Please don't do nothing crazy this month. I know on Twitter y'all had like the calendar last year for everything that was come on, man. We can't keep track of that. We got to lose all of that. Don't keep track of none of the crazy stuff that go on or nothing like that, man. Everybody who potentially crazy, stay your ass in the house. But we definitely want to enter into a new month, enter into a new space, positive, and looking forward to a lot. I feel like this year is gonna bring a lot for a lot of people, myself included. I know music is everybody's buzzing with everybody's dropping an album from some of the legends to newer artists. It seems to be a pretty um, eventful year, a year that people are really looking forward to, and that feels good. A certain level of optimism is almost required in life. So to see people kind of having that and kind of finding that joy in that is pretty cool. And then of course being one of those people, of course, feels amazing because I'm always looking forward to what's next, what's positive, um, whatever it is that is I feel is on the horizon that's gonna be something that's major. So got some pretty good things to look forward to this year. I want to do a whole lot of traveling, some learning, getting more in depth with this, and just kind of taking it from there. So, we all got some stuff to look forward to. So I'm rooting for everybody. Hopefully everybody accomplishes all their goals, man. But I got a few good topics to get into today, man. I want to really kind of motivate some people, man. So before we get into that, man, I know depending on what time I drop this, but um, get you a drink, get you a smoke, whatever it is that you do, man. Cheers from me to you. But I definitely got a couple good topics. Well, some good motivation, I would say. Um, Something that is has been sitting with me for a while, and coincidentally ended up having a conversation that kind of aligned with this that made me be like, okay, you know what, this may be something I need to either share with people or to be kind of therapeutic for myself to just kind of really get it out and kind of talk about some of those kinds of things, man. But we're we often get caught up in whatever it is that we're looking for, we're missing, whatever we're pursuing. We don't necessarily give ourselves grace. We often will get to those points of hitting a wall, or something doesn't go the way that we planned, and typically we stray away from whatever our plan is. We look to do something different, instead of either figuring out how to kind of refine that vision or just giving up altogether. And of course, I know people say don't give up and quitting is terrible and all of those kinds of things. And I completely understand it, and somewhat agree to a certain point. Excuse me. But I think that it starts a little bit deeper than that. I think we've all got to kind of realize that we're still young as adults. You're not an adult until you're 18. So from 18 to 30, it's only 12 years. You're not even a teenager as an adult. So giving yourself grace that you only had, if you're 30, of course, you've only had that amount of time to learn, to understand what it takes to be an adult. So you make a lot of mistakes. You don't know a lot of things. You don't have the knowledge. You didn't even care about getting the knowledge or any of those kinds of things. So you have to grow to a certain point, of course, to get there, and that requires a certain amount of time. And I think with that, that's where we fall off track. Like me being 33, I constantly feel like I'm up against the clock. I constantly feel like I need to be doing this or I need to be doing that, or I didn't do this or I didn't do that. But my life is my singular journey. I'm not up against anybody else's clock. I'm not at anybody else's pace. So that's what I want to encourage other people to really kind of think about, that life is your own race. You're not up against anybody else's clock. You're not you're not forced to move at somebody else's pace. You've got to do what's not only best for you, but also give yourself grace. Understand that if you're 35, you haven't been an adult that long. You figured some things out. Now, this is not an excuse for some of you niggas out there to be like, hey man, I'm only 45. I ain't got it together. I'm still young. No, that's not what we're saying here. What we're saying is understand that knowledge, that wisdom, that insight, all of those things, some of it comes through just time and experience. You gotta go through things, and you have to grow through things. You got to be able to really kind of self-reflect. You got to be in those situations to experience it and for it to go wrong, and then be able to self-reflect and then course correct and take yourself, wherever it is that you aspire to go, or whatever your goals look like. But that was something that I really sat with for a while, just for myself. Really, all of the things that I've gone through, and even some of the things that I've done to people, some of the mistakes that I've made, the choices that I've made, having to realize that, number one, my age doesn't excuse anything, but understanding that the knowledge I have now and the understanding and wisdom that I have now, I didn't have then. So I couldn't make those decisions. I wasn't informed enough. I wasn't knowledgeable enough. I didn't care to be knowledgeable enough. But as I've continued to grow and mature, that frame of mind has changed. And now I've found myself more or less gracious to myself and more ridiculing myself because I didn't know this back then, because I didn't apply this back then, or I didn't do this. And that's where I had to, through therapy, kind of put up that wall to say, yes, those are the mistakes I made. Those are the choices I made. That's where I went wrong. That's where I did all of these different things. But I grew from it. Or at least I'm growing from it. I shouldn't say that I grew. I'm growing from it. I'm learning. I'm doing what's required and what's necessary to become a better man, to become a better person, to continue to grow. I think that's of course a key element in anything, but that growth is scary when it's just you. When you got to face yourself in the mirror, when you have to look back at yourself and admit, yeah, I was wrong, or I started this trail of whatever went wrong a while ago. It wasn't just this mistake. Being able to have that level of accountability, but then also still be gracious to yourself, man, that shit hurts. It is rough. It ain't pretty. It don't feel good. It'll make you want to give up. But as you start to go through it, you start to feel lighter. You start to be able to let go of some of those things. You start to be able to truly forgive. You start to be able to understand yourself and remove a lot of the ego attached to a lot of things. And I think oftentimes for myself, I got caught up in thinking that ego was just my bravado. I would think that, hey, look, if I'm not trying to be as flashy or I'm not being a womanizer, then yeah, I'm checking my ego, and that's not all of it. I'm not remaining teachable. I've been in environments where I'm a fish out of water. I don't know nothing about wherever I am. And if somebody's trying to teach me and I'm not remaining teachable, that's all ego. But for a while, it didn't register to me that way, and I was just thinking, oh no, like I may not have their level of experience, but I'm knowledgeable. Like nah, I had to really kind of check myself and remove that ego from me to really be able to learn. So whether it was being a man, it was business endeavors, it was being a man of God, it was whatever the topic was, or that room or that environment was built around. That's where I had to humble myself to be able to really kind of learn and take things away from, of course, a lot of people. But then also, I would say that going hand in hand with that is the, and this, of course, for me, kind of speaks to what I'm doing now with this. The possibility of success starts in your mind. You got to believe it. You got to envision it. You got to plan for it. You got to, of course, understand that there will be trials, there will be bumps in the roads. But there's also a lot of fruit in that. There's a lot of knowledge in that. There's a lot of opportunity in being able to find people to ask those questions to build those relationships, to say, hey man, look, I'm struggling with this. Like, how do you do this? Or what am I supposed to do here? Or how am I supposed to do this? I think, of course, it's a lot easier or a lot harder to create than it is to critique. But I think a lot of times people getting into creating, myself on different endeavors, it's always thinking about the finished product. And I've had a few people kind of have to reel me back in this space when it came to what I was trying to do. Because I'm thinking end product. I'm thinking this is grand scheme, what I want it to be. This is how I want it set up. I want this, I want that. I only want to shoot on this kind of camera. I only want this kind of lighting. I only want all of these kinds of things. And it's like, if is that the product? If that's not the product, then focus on what the actual content is. So I say that to say, you got to be able to understand that plan, that vision, whatever that ideal is that you have for whatever it is that you're doing. You got to work that plan, and don't get caught up in the what ifs of any of what could go wrong, because it's so easy to start out with an idea. You envision it, you plan for it, you feel like, yeah, this is gonna be it. This is gonna work. This is gonna get me to that point. I'm gonna be happy doing it, so on and so forth. And then one thing goes wrong, and now it's, damn, what if this don't go right? Or you put all this work into whatever it is that you're doing, and ain't nobody watch it, ain't nobody listening, don't nobody care, or you feel that way. And then it's, damn, why am I doing this? What if I stop, or what if I change this? Keep going with whatever your vision is, because the more you get stuck in the what ifs, your discipline will lack. If you start off your plan defeated, then 9 times out of 10 your discipline is going to be inconsistent. That's the trade-off for the what ifs, or thinking about the what ifs. But if you're if you're able to continue to plan outside of that, frame your mind around, yeah, it's a possibility, but look at the success, look at the growth that I'm having, look at what I'm able to learn, look at what I'm able to take from this, and then maybe even apply to my next venture, any of those kinds of things. I think that's where people should be able to kind of frame their minds around that, or should frame their minds around that. Because, like I said, starting that plan off with ideas of defeat or thoughts of defeat, discipline is out the window. I've been there myself, even with this. Um, I was I was talking about this about a year ago, and all I got caught up in is the what ifs. What if what if folks laugh at me? What if it ain't I'm not good at delivering the content? What if I'm not I'm not appealing to everybody? What if I'm not I'm it was all types of what ifs. And I drowned in that for a year before I was able to be like, you know what? I don't I don't really care. If if this is something that not only that I want to do, definitely being a praying man that I've prayed over, that I'm putting the work in to actually study what it takes. I'm asking the questions, remaining teachable. What am I doing all of this work for if all I'm planning for is the what ifs? I film a video and then I'm like, nah, I'm gonna over critique it. I just throw it away. Or I do an audio episode and I'm like, nah, this topic ain't nobody trying to hear this, and then I delete it. All I'm stuck in is the what ifs, to where I could have been delivering that content and it could have been reaching people. It could have helped somebody. It could have been that word of encouragement. It could have been whatever somebody needed, or it could have just been truly my purpose to deliver whatever that message was. And I'm holding myself back, getting caught up in the what ifs. So I wanted to take that time to really kind of encourage people, um, and also encourage myself. Like I said, in the very first episode, if you listened, this is therapeutic for me, just as well as I'm trying to reach people and I'm trying to help people. I want to make sure that it's authentic, it's honest, it's game from the couch, kicking it with So I wanna be able to give that same feel, to everybody or anybody who watches this, but then also give that investment to myself, man. It's not something that we often do. It's not something that we often want to do. It's typically something that it feels funny. It feels funny being vulnerable. It feels funny having to have a conversation with a camera, and then you throw it on whatever platform, and now you hoping that somebody sees it or whatever. Like the entire thing, it's different, especially for me. Um, Anybody who knows me, I'm not the biggest in front of the camera person. I give you the idea, I write whatever, I handle the business, but I don't want to do this. So this is all new for me. But praying over it, thinking of the possibilities of success, planning for it, envisioning it, um, even studying it, that's where I was able to steer away from, like I said, the year of getting caught in the what ifs, to now being like, hey, I'm gonna just jump off the deep end and do it. I'm gonna see what comes of it. Because truly, at the end of the day, this was something that I knew could be an avenue to help somebody. So whether it's one person, it's somebody who just needed to hear something from somebody in their age group that said, something along those lines, or whatever it was. I knew that I had to act on it. But that all started with my first point of being able to understand where I am in my journey as an adult and as a man. Um, as a black man, I think it's often taboo whenever we talk about our growth, our vulnerability, our really just kind of our journeys. Most times it's either something that people kind of shy away from because the pain that is associated with it, or a lot of times we just don't really want to be that vulnerable, which I found solace in being able to be vulnerable, because you never know when somebody else needed to hear, damn, I went through the same thing, or I was thinking the same thing, or I felt the same way. It gives people that feeling of, damn, like I got somebody else who went through it, or I saw somebody else get to this point, or I saw somebody else do this. It's our testimony. And of course, being a believer in God, your testimony is everything, man. To be able to share it, you didn't go through it for you, you went through it, of course, to share and to help somebody else. So I try to give as much of that as I'm comfortable with. But it's gonna continue to be a journey, man. So y'all lock in with me, ride with me. You finally getting a chance to really kind of look at me this time rather than just hearing my voice. So hopefully I don't scare y'all off. Also, I'm wearing sunglasses because it's bright. I'm pretty sure y'all can see the light in my sunglasses, but it's extremely bright, so I'm getting used to that. Of course, like I said, being in front of the camera, not necessarily my thing, but getting used to it. Really kind of giving myself a test run, I would say, with this, and see where it goes, man. It's been a pretty cool journey. I feel like I've learned a lot. I've been able to learn a lot about myself throughout this. But then, like I said, use these as therapy sessions, man. You on the couch with your uncle, we kicking game, talking about some real stuff. Hopefully, it's gonna help somebody somewhere. But then outside of that, man, just this is or will be a space for just growth and elevated conversation, man. I think we need more of that, especially as my age group, we get a little older. I know some of y'all don't really want to hear that. I know it. I don't really want to hear it. I got gray hair everywhere, man. It's ridiculous. But we getting older, so our conversation is different. Shaping those conversations is different. The people having those conversations are different. And I think we need more space to be open to that. Like I said, especially for our age group, because we the new uncle and aunties, man. We having the barbecues and the get-togethers and the card games and the cookouts and Thanksgivings and holidays. That's us. So, as those conversations change, man, finding those spaces and those avenues to where when we have those conversations, it's conducive, it's relaxed, it's growth filled, and it feels good, man. Because we got to keep investing in us. So that was what I really wanted to do with that, man. And like I said, the possibility of your success, it all starts with you, man. So believe it. It's all possible. Ain't nothing too far fetched. Keep dreaming. Mike Epps said at the end of his new stand up, keep being delusional. Like that's true. And of course, I'm not relating myself to Mike Epps. Just saying that level of belief and that level of belief in possibility, it'll take you further than, anything. And I can say that in my personal life, for what my personal aspirations were for, like career and things like that, I was talking about where I am now years ago and saying that, yeah, this is my goal, I'm gonna do it. And it sounded crazy as hell being 25, 26, saying what I wanted to do. But, you know, through God, everything is possible, man. So keep believing. I'm not a Bible scholar by no means. Know a few verses offhand, but nowhere near a Bible scholar, man. But I know the Bible says, and I think it's in Proverbs, that as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. I believe that's the verse. If I got it wrong, I apologize. But I believe that's the verse. But of course, reigns true for a multitude of things. But I'm gonna relate it to this and say that, of course, it it follows, or it reigns true for, you know, any amount of success, any amount of possibility, whatever it is that you want to do, how you want to do it, any of those kinds of things, man. It's the Bible, it's the gospel. It is all of that, man. So please stay encouraged, invest in yourself, believe in yourself, be gracious to yourself, and understand that it's your journey. It's your it's your own story. You're not chasing nobody else. So whether you started from square one twice, or you jumped off the porch and you excelled at whatever, man, it really doesn't matter. It's your life. Enjoy it, live it, keep God first, keep your head down, keep working, and it'll all come together, man. But now let's talk about some music, man. So my man's Currency dropped a project. I'm messing with it. I love Currency. Been a huge Currency fan since early teenage days. Back, I'm talking before Wiz Khalifa had the patch, when he used to wear the hats with the brim flipped up. Like, I was a fan of them back then. I actually got a picture somewhere. Might have to find that, where I got like my hat flipped. It was ridiculous. I hate looking at old pictures of myself. I hate really taking pictures, but looking at the old pictures of myself, yeah, ridiculous. But Currency project, fire. Reef and Reefer, man, had it on repeat. I'm talking about first listen, soon as the CD. Damn, I'm old. Soon as the album got to track 4, I believe it is. Soon as it hit it, I had it on replay for like 30 minutes. Like, fire. Love that song. Definitely give it a 9 out of 10. If you're a Currency fan, check it out. If you're not, it might have some good tunes for you. I definitely like that one, because niggas ain't really rapping. They ain't really dropping good music no more, man. I think a lot of people getting caught up in just throwing together some quick beats, getting it out, which is cool. It worked for some people, but like good music, that's how I know I'm getting older. Like, I really can't listen to a lot of young rappers. And I say that, but there do be some songs that I hear and I'm like, I kind of like that one. But yeah, I'm getting up there now. But who else dropped a project? Let's see. Don Toliver. I want to say his came out yesterday or a couple days ago or something like that. Project was fire. His consistency is damn near unmatched. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think he got a single bad album. Like, every project he drops, slap. But his Don Toliver's melodies with Travis Scott production is, I feel like a combination that doesn't get talked about enough. Like, not enough people talk about how that sound, not only is it unique, but it's amazing. Like, they make some masterful work. So great album. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because it's one track that I did skip. Not gonna lie to you, but 8 out of 10. I give it that. But I've only listened to it once, so on the second listen, I may change. Don't quote me on that one. But who else dropped a project? I know it's a few that I haven't listened to. Like I seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about Ari Lennox. So I got to check hers out. I might actually do that today. Check her project out. See what it's like. But I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying that it was pretty good, and I was talking about R&B in one of them audio episodes that I had dropped. So, got to get a R&B a listen. Really looking forward to her when she drops her album. Boy, look, hey, it's probably gonna put me in my feelings, but nah, she makes really 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 good music. So can't wait to check out her project. I'm sure if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see me tweeting her lyrics. But I definitely mess with her music. So looking forward to that. Like I said, there is a ton of artists dropping albums, songs, mixtapes, whatever. Like this seemed like the year of music this year. So looking forward to it, really. Because I feel like it's been a while since we got some real good music from all of the either big artists or popular artists. So I think this will be a pretty good year for that. Looking forward to it, man. But what else we got? What else coming up? Um, of course, we in February, so Valentine's Day coming up. If you listen to the last episode, hopefully you preparing for it. Fellas, write your love letters. I did not chat GPT the love letter. I got to do that, so I do that. I might do that on Valentine's Day. But I let's see what else. The Valentine's Day fours. They come out February 7th, I believe. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore though. Like, do people still do that? Get the Valentine's Day shoes and all of that. I remember that used to be a big thing. Like when I was a teenager, people going to guys go get the Jordans, girls go get the Air Force Ones. Like that used to be real popular. I ain't seen people do that in I don't know how long. So I may be dating myself with that one, but they coming out. They look fire though. So ladies, go grab them. I think it's a women's only release on the fours. But the infrared sixes come out on Valentine's Day on the 14th, and I can't wait for those. Always wanted them, never had them. Yeah, in all these years, never had them. So I can't wait for them to come out. Definitely got to grab a pair of them. Of course, because if you know me, red is my favorite color. Typically wear a lot of black or red, so definitely gotta have them in the rotation, man. Um, what else is coming up? I don't know, man. It's a lot of stuff coming up. Trying to do some traveling. I know the Houston Rodeo is coming up. I think that's next month, start next month. Um, might go down to that. I don't know. We'll see how that works. I've never been to it, but just from looking at it, it looked like State Fair. Texans, don't get mad if you see this. I have no idea what what it actually is, but it just looked like it. Um, I might check that out. Doing a lot of solo traveling this year. Um, I don't think that's really by choice. I don't have anybody to travel with, but um, that'll be something that's pretty cool. I started doing it last year or year before, but just on small trips. So now kind of expanding that to bigger trips. It's been cool. It's real therapeutic, man. Having that time to really kind of ground myself and enjoy nature. As I've gotten older, I feel that connection and that grounding being in nature. So being on the beach, or I haven't done it yet, but I found like some cabins to do like it camping almost or whatever. So doing stuff like that is stuff that's kind of helped me. So maybe something to look into, if those kinds of things interest you. Um, but yeah, I think that's all for current events. I can't think of nothing else. But yeah, I ain't want to hold y'all too long, man. First visual episode. I will definitely keep them coming. I appreciate y'all for stopping by, man. Coming to kick it on the couch with me. Anytime, feel free. Stop by. We'll have a good conversation, man. But if y'all ain't got nothing else for me, all I got left is peace.